Hiring a fractional COO this year could be the number one thing that you do that allows you to double or triple your business. But most founders don't even know what a fractional COO is or does. And in this video, that's exactly what I'm going to explain to you. Here's everything you need to know on why you should hire one and if you should hire one. So first and foremost, if you don't know who I am, my name is Jordan Ross. I run 8-figure agency and a portfolio where we do over $10 million in annual sales. And with 8-figure agency, we help companies grow by implementing better systems, strategies, and processes, primarily by staffing executives and fractional COOs. So I know a lot about this topic. So firstly, when it comes to why you should hire one, there are primarily two reasons why you should consider hiring a fractional COO. First, if you need another operator in your business and you want really good talent, a COO full-time that has already run a high 7 or 8-figure business is going to get paid a bare minimum $200,000 a year with bonus structure and incentives. But for every single 8-figure operator that I've hired, and I've hired over 15, the minimum that these guys want to make is $300,000, and I've hired guys that have been making over $800,000 a year. So if you're looking for an operator or a COO in your business, you might not want to pay that upfront because that comes with a lot of risk. You could invest a lot of time, energy, resources, and dollars just to find out 6 to 12 months down the road you hired the wrong guy and you really won't know for a while. This is the first and primary reason why hiring a fractional COO is a great first step when you do need an operator, because it allows you to dip your toe in the water without having to overcommit. Or you could even hire a fractional COO to help you bring on a full-time COO. That's something we've done dozens and dozens of times. And the second reason, which is what I already said, there's just a lot of risk with hiring someone full-time. When you go this route, it's going to mitigate a big downside. And here's a crazy statistic. Less than 20% of all COOs that are hired in 7 or 8-figure companies are there in 24 months. So you have a 1 in 5 shot of doing this correctly. And if you mess up, you're restarting this process again. And it's super painful. That's why a lot of people just avoid it altogether. The second thing you need to know about fractional COOs is what they actually do. Now, fractional COOs can do 2 things for your company. The first thing is that they could build systems. They could build the processes and systems through either technology or through people that allow you to increase capacity, take on more clients, hire more people, and increase the lifetime value per customer. Or they run your teams and they run your systems. You could hire someone to actually run your whole business for you, not grow it in the lens of they're going to be building projects and building your business, but they could run the daily operations. Those are the 2 options you have. Let's dive into both. Now, firstly, when it comes to building systems, there are 4 core steps that you need to be aware of that these fractional COOs will actually do. The right fractional COO will help with, first and foremost, strategy. Now, this one blows my mind because I meet so many business owners that just try building systems, but they don't take the extra 20 minutes to 60 minutes to make sure they're building the right things. And with Pareto's principle, which if you don't know what that is, that's a principle that states distribution of wealth, of success, of resources is always lopsided towards a few minorities. 80% of your success will probably come from 20% or less actions. So not all actions are equal and not all systems are equal. And you need to start with building the right strategy on what you need to build, because if you build the right things, your business will disproportionately grow. And that's why hiring the right fractional COO or operator could be really important for your company. Number 2 is building. Now this process is pretty straightforward, but the right fractional COO will come in with a methodology. They'll come in with templates, models, or systems that they are already trained on, they've already used and built, and instead of starting from scratch, they're working off a proven model. Where 5-figure companies and 6-figure companies get this wrong is just using those templates and then running it from there. The right fractional COO is going to build off of these templates and bring in a high level of specificity for your company. Now, this is critical because if you want to be elite, you need to build nuanced understanding and nuanced systems that take in your genius, your secret sauce, your culture, and that will take them working with you or working with your team to extrapolate the uniqueness of your company into the systems. And here's a good example. If you run an advertising agency, the methodology or the structure or the systems behind picking ads or picking creative or how you communicate with clients, it's different. It's nuanced, it's unique, and you need to make an adjustment for your company on how to do that correctly. Now, the building phase ends with figuring out how this process or system or step integrates into your company's workflow, integrates into your company's project management, and integrates into the machine or lack of machine that is your business. If your fractional COO or operator is unable to clearly articulate how they're going to do that, they're not the right fit. Step 3 is implement. Now, this one's pretty obvious, and I've gone deeper in my other content on this, but identifying how they could implement a system through people in your company is critical. Now, one of the things we do at 8F is we'll find a champion or two, one or two people that are willing to be stakeholders and champions of a process. They'll get trained up on the process, they'll learn, they'll ask all their questions, and then we will roll out the system through them. Step 4 is sustain. Sustain the process, which is where most companies fall short. Most people can build, implement systems. They can pick sometimes even the right systems, but sustaining it's the hardest thing because change management is real. People are resistant to change. And here's what you need to know about that. There are 5 unique steps that you need to be aware of. Number 1, you need to inform your team 2 to 6 weeks in advance of a change that's coming. You need to explain the why, or you need to have the fractional COO explain the why of why you're building a system. Number 2, you should roll out a 1-page document to the team 2 weeks in advance of the details of the rollout and the details of the new process. Number 3, you should tie the execution and sustainability of that process to promotions, raises, and compensation. This is where you get buy-in, because if people don't actually use the system and don't sustain the system, there will be consequences. Number 4, you should have an auditor placed in your company, or you should assign someone as an auditor role to make sure that system is now being used. And if it's not, it's going to be caught, because the auditor will review daily and weekly to make sure this system is used. And this auditing process should just happen forever. This now becomes part of your process workflow. If it's not followed, they are coached and given feedback. And number 5, it can lead to clear guidelines on how escalation can lead to corrective management or potential termination. If you do those 5 things, or your fractional COO does those 5 things with you or for you, you know you're in right hands. As I mentioned before, your fractional COO could also run your team and business for you. This is where they're coming in, they're running meetings, they are coaching and training your team, and they're doing it on a fractional basis. Now, an average fractional COO will only work 5 to 20 hours a week. At 8F, we do roughly 7, sometimes 10 hours a week. And what I find is if you have the right fractional COO, they will be able to squeeze the most value out of your people and business for the time they put in. And that can really lead to significant ROI. That's everything you need to know about a fractional COO. If you receive value from this video, make sure you like and subscribe to catch more of my content. And if you want to learn how I automated everything in my business, check out this next video where I show you exactly how I did that. Thank you.